Ron Helter.
Hello.
Well,
Here to talk about the body worn contract that is up for renewal. Actually, that March 1st of this year, so we're a little behind, but we didn't get the renewal until February, so we spent a lot of time on it. I think I emailed it all out to you. Total price of it is $378,780, and that gets us identical of what it did back in 2020, except for we've added numerous things throughout the years.
I think I sent you an email asking how this company is working for you, if you're satisfied with it. I never got a response.
Yeah, definitely satisfied with it. It's the same company that Jasper goes with, Honeyburg goes with, Cal City goes with, so it's numerous agencies in southern Indiana that goes with this company, so we're very happy with the company. Starting over would cost us a lot more money if we switch companies.
can you do a breakdown of like everything that we have, like the cameras and everything go along with this? Can you just give us the numbers of what everything that goes along with that 378?
Well, I know that I answered Ryan's, and I think it pretty shows you the increase, but it was like for the car, it's $14,640 per camera in the car, $6,320 per camera on the body, and then the interview room was $18,120.
Sheriff, I had talked to Dalla, the sales rep,
Yeah.
just to kind of help understand the breakdowns of some of these. Just curious, and help me with the breakdown. If we have 22, who all wears these? All 22, 23 officers? You don't wear one, and the SRO, do they wear one?
They do.
Okay, so
Okay.
23 deputies today.
Today is, where are we at? We're at 20, I think we're at 26 right now. Because we have the transport officers that have
Well, they have to wear them too.
Well, they don't have to, but I
But
mean,
they-
they deal a lot with inmates, so yeah.
So you have 3 of them, maybe?
2 of them, and then you have the detectives, all administration are, the only ones that don't is myself and Jesus. Jesus has one, I do not have one.
Okay. I guess my only question was the 30. That's what I was just trying to get to, the 30. Because, and then I thought maybe one was a backup, but I read that we've got 2 backups.
We have 2 backups.
And then my understanding of this, just because I'm trying to understand it, was that if, let's say we started with 27 today, and then in 2 years we need to add one, they
Mhm.
prorate it based
They
on
do.
this contract. So it's not like if we say you have 27 and we needed to add more, they can always be added.
Oh yeah, we added the interview room when we built the new jail, and that, I think cost us $12,000 or something like that, but.
You said that
like,
stayed the same.
Did it?
It stayed the
I
same,
think
really,
they
based on.
prorated it some, and then, but we've added cameras throughout the years, and they just prorate it down to where it ends at the same time of our contract.
Correct, so it's not an awful deal if we don't have enough in the beginning, and
No, we.
if we need a plan to get more, because I was thinking, I kind of like I talked to the chief of police of Jasper, just like I sent you,
Mhm.
that just comparing, no clue what they use, and I don't know your thoughts, but they don't put the cameras in people that don't pull over, people like the detectives and the chief's car. Are these in our cars like that?
We don't, like Wade is our detective, he does not, but our 2 narcotics officers, they do.
They do, and no other detectives, because it's 27 cars too.
Correct.
I just want to make sure that I got
Yeah.
it. And then, adding up this quote that we've got, I don't get to 30. I get to
No, there's
27.
2 we're gonna add. Well, there should be, yeah, we added the 2 to.
I don't know if it's on this quote, because I even asked
It's
it.
very confusing.
Because some are bundled and some aren't.
And I just,
And then sometimes there's duplicate, entries
So
from.
the
yeah.
bundles were what we originally had, and then like, right, if you see the front page where it's got 17, that was the original.
Okay.
And then we added the 3 at one point in time. It's very confusing. But Brad Allen is who I dealt with, and he assured me that that's what we will have. So I didn't really count them up, to be
yeah,
honest. but-
because I couldn't come up with the 30 either, and she says that there's only 27. There's 27 body cams and 27 cars. on this quote.
on that quote.
So I don't know, if you're looking at it 30, it doesn't look like.
That's what Brad told me I was gonna do, so, I will clarify that with him, but, I mean, we went back and forth numerous times.
Yeah, also I asked her, since we just got this late for an extension on that.
Yeah, they said that they would.
And they'll have no problem working
No.
with us. I think it's a pretty big decision that we need to just make sure that we're getting the right, everyone seems to be happy with it. That's just a lot of money.
We have everything already, so there's nothing that we get except for the 2 cameras. That's the only thing that we are asking for that they're going to give us. Everything else we already have.
Okay. So it's just another maintenance, right? It's a 5-year maintenance
Yeah.
plan. They don't I thought you said maybe were we gonna upgrade the interview room?
We will, that'd be free,
She said it's free.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a larger amount.
The key thing that I think we have to remember is we have free unlimited storage,
Yeah.
and that's not offered
And
anywhere.
24/7 support.
24/7.
Which is why I didn't know that, why we would need extras. We don't keep extras. We're either
Extras.
using extra cameras. We're either using them or they're not sitting around on a shelf. They're either being worn or we don't have them.
We typically have one that is not in use,
Okay.
but we're not paying for that.
Okay, because they said we should have 2 that are not in use. So it's in theory, we're not paying for 30 and 30 of them, 2 of them are
So
sitting
we're not
around.
gonna sit around and do nothing.
That's my
But we
question.
have them.
Yes.
Like if we have an accident, it can be replaced and then that would just take
You take the backup one and you
Yeah.
send your new one off to be replaced and send you one. Yep.
Correct.
I just wanted to get the overview of this whole thing because it was obviously a little confusing.
I asked
Yeah.
about that, you said that you mentioned that they would extend that quote, I was unsure, and maybe it's a typo, but, I guess, well, it's on each of the pages, on the quote for the date, it has it referenced from this past summer, so I didn't know
June.
what that meant.
Yeah,
So they gave this to us at that
They
point?
did not.
Did not.
they did not. And that was, if Kenya wouldn't have reached out to him, I don't know if we would've got it. So we finally decided that we were gonna contact them because we knew that it ended in March, but we hadn't been contacted by him.
Like
so
she
he
tried to
did.
initiate it last summer and hadn't heard anything from them,
What were they gonna do, Dilly?
maybe,
Delia, I think she forgot to say.
got it.
I don't know what would've happened.
I don't know.
I really don't.
Okay.
According to Brad, it would've flagged that she would've been getting alerts on her email that we hadn't upgraded yet, and then she would've found out that she had sent it, so.
Well, she was very kind and had no problem working with us.
Yeah.
She said, just let us know what's going on, so.
Sorry, who's the Brad again? I know.
Brad is the sales rep.
Okay, not the Dahlia, the Brad.
No.
Okay. Thank you.
So I do have a question. I wanna make sure I'm looking at the same quote that you're all looking at. You had mentioned that you just got this in
This month.
I think I got it the same day I sent it to you.
Okay, I just wanna make sure I'm seeing the right document because my quote is actually dated June the 9th of 2024.
That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we were saying.
That's what I was asking.
That's
She
what you were
initiated the
asking.
quote
Okay.
back then, but
But they forgot and they had to follow
Yeah.
back up, I think, that their team.
they keep the same date on it, cause this is probably the 3rd or 4th quote that we've gotten.
Okay.
So any other questions for the sheriff? on this?
I would just think they're gonna have to redo it and just make sure that we've got the right amount because it seems a little clustery from them. You know, if they're gonna work with us, is this 30 or 27, right? Like she's telling me 27, I just think it would be good to have it cleaned up.
Do you think that they could, for example, put ones like similar items, on the same lines, we have a
And that's
clean line
that's
of
what she
all
was
the
saying,
same.
why they couldn't is because if you add someone a year
Yeah,
later,
and
it's
that's-
on a new line because it's prorated.
I
We've
guess.
asked for that too, and they say no because of the, if you notice on some of them, it's got an SO number and an
Yeah,
invoice
the
number,
number,
PO
PO
number, and they don't want to confuse them for some reason or another. But I could probably have him do a,
Summary sheet maybe of,
Or
yeah, like at the end of it, just do a summary of everything that we're gonna get.
yeah,
that'd be good.
I think the other thing on that same, thing here is, the county attorney is supposed to review all contracts, and they're supposed to be posted on Gateway.
It was, he did review this, the contract didn't change.
I mean, since 17 or whenever it is.
Contract is the
Well,
same.
that, what I'm saying is there's other language that needs to be part of this contract. Just like every contract we do, and I think the commissioners, I mean, we have to, I think that was a changed the beginning of the year, or late last year.
Yeah, it's.
I thought it was if it's not a new contract.
Is that,
No, they, like when we renewed our, copy machines and stuff, they had to add it. So I can send it to you and then you can give it to them tomorrow.
Okay.
I think before, so you get that language in there, I think there's 3 or 4 things that need to be added to that contract normally. So I don't know how we wanna, move on here, but, I think, do we wanna wait for the, if they say they're gonna work with us, we've, got $61,000 in the budget, I think, or roughly speaking.
You guys budgeted $61,050.
Right.
And we
so-
need 75,756. So Joanne and I worked together to try to come up with the difference, and we can do that if you guys approve the misdemeanor fund additional appropriations.
Okay. So
That's
the-
kind of where we
Yeah, that's what we
came up
or
with.
is, I guess, so we would make a motion on, if we change this, they can, you can move forward, right? And just so you get the legal part of it taken care of.
Yep.
With the county attorney.
Make sure they got it right.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's on the, any other questions for the sheriff at this point on that?
Just confusing.
It is
I think
very
we got
confusing.
I think we got it cleaned up.
Mhm.
They probably do that on purpose.
Probably.
So, on the additional appropriations also, we have a jail repair and maintenance, $60,000. So that's just moving the money, or do you have use
No,
for that?
last year when we did budgets, misdemeanor was forgotten, and you
Yes.
guys did not budget misdemeanor for the sheriff. You did it for the community corrections side, but you didn't do it for the sheriff's side.
Okay.
So this would put the 70,000 back in that budget for them to use this year. Misdemeanor money comes from when he holds.
Yeah.
So on the additional appropriation, if everybody understands that, we got jail repair and then jail operating, the one's 60,000, the other's 10, which equals 70,000, so we're appropriating that money out of the misdemeanor fund. So, questions on that, or is everybody in favor of proceeding with the body, because if we give him the money, we're gonna proceed with the body thing, as long as the contract is agreeable with the county attorney. So,
I don't know that we can do without it. Right, we gotta have it.
No, it's not a statute or statutorily requirement, but we're going backwards.
The only thing that I see that could ever be changed, in my opinion, would be the interview camera. We could have something different and not have them in all of our cars, but do you open yourself up for liability if you start ripping these things out? And that's what I don't want, and I would have to trust the sheriff's judgment on that.
Yeah, I don't know if Jasper does cars or not. We do, because obviously we transport a lot, and there are times where they're in the car by themselves.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great idea for the transporting the inmates.
Yeah.
I never really even thought that was on there either.
Mhm.
So that helps explain a little bit why we're needing more.
Yeah.
And then the interview room, that just is what it is. That's a value, obviously, or you wanna have
It
it
has
on
to,
there.
you have to have that,
This.
recorded. You don't have to have this one.
Yeah.
We went with this one because it's the same as everything else.
It's
And
easy.
it links straight to the prosecutor's office, just like our body worn and everything else, so there's no more downloading, cause we did the previous one, we had to download on a disc and send that up to the prosecutor, and it was just, this is
Streamlining it.
streamlining it, yeah.
So, just one more question, because I'm just curious. When you activate your lights, does the thing come on?
Yes.
And is it automatically uploading, or are you going back then to the
Back
office and uploading?
30 seconds.
Okay.
Is that what you were talking
Yeah,
about?
like it's,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
It goes back 30 seconds and then starts recording.
And the cloud storage they have, it never gets deleted as long
No.
as you've had this.
Now, we do have, like, the officer has to classify them after every time they turn it off. They have to classify it, and then if they do a, accidental recording or whatever, that will be deleted. But if it has a name or a case number to it, then it won't be deleted. And that was where the unlimited comes in, for lifetime, so.
I'll make that motion, that helps help you explain.
So Ryan has made a motion, do we have a second?
I'll say.
Alex has seconded, so any further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? So then, while you're here, then the other thing is the sheriff's donation fund of $1,568.60. So can you explain that to us, what that's being used for?
I can't,
It was the carpeting and the,
for the finishing up of the carpet.
I have a note somewhere, and supplies to finish up the training center.
Any questions of the sheriff for that? That's the donation fund that was given by a private individual.
Yes. I think that's the one that was specifically set for them. I mean, all of our donations are from private individuals. But
So any discussion or any questions from the sheriff? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve that additional appropriation from the sheriff's donation fund to other expenses.
I can make that motion.
I'll second.
Meredith made a motion and Doug seconded. So further discussion, otherwise all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Well, thank you for taking the time to explain it to us.
He does have the firearms training yet for the,
Oh, that's right, I'm
Scopes.
sorry.
the
For the
gun-
scopes.
Scopes on the guns.
So can you explain that
Scopes for the rifles.
for the rifles?
Mhm.
So, do you, the firearms training, is that a monthly thing or is that a?
Firearms training, no, we usually have it 3 or 4 times a year, but it's not a monthly.
Okay.
I think you used to get money from when you did gun permits.
We do, yeah.
And now they,
Now they come from,
they
it's just
come
an
from the
automatic
state,
from the
it's just-
state.
because there is no more gun
There's no
permit.
more permits,
Okay.
or you're not required to have a permit.
Right.
We still do several, we do some permits yet, lifetime permits and stuff like that.
FFLs.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions of the sheriff for that? So, entertain a motion to, for additional appropriation for the firearms training to have scopes for the rifles, $6,399. Someone wanna make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Alex has made a motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Dina has seconded, so further discussion, otherwise all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. So I think that's all,
Alright.
Sheriff, thank you.
I do wanna say that I am in, knowledge of the email that was sent about the commissary, and like I've always stated, I've given you what the statute requires that I give you. If you need to view receipts or whatever, you feel free to make an appointment, come up and view them. So.
So next on the agenda is Region 15. Nathan Hill from Indiana Region 15.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. I am making my rounds to our counties to give an update on what we worked on in 2024. I have provided, as usual, we put together, the county pays in a per capita fee. Each of our 6 counties pays that in. And so the first 2 pages, front and back, that is a 10-year history of our 6 counties, what has been paid in, and then the grant funds received per county. And then the next pages are specific to Du Bois County for the last 10 years as well. So you can follow through all the projects that we've worked on, the grant funds that we've received. For 2024 specifically, you'll see that that was kind of a low year for Du Bois County as far as grant funds being received. But we recorded the year that the grant is funded. but keep in mind, you know, sometimes it takes up to a year before the application is actually submitted, and then once it's funded, we're continuing to work on that. So, of course, we're still working on your help grant that you received. That's for the owner-occupied rehab, and then also for some TRICAP work. So we're still working on that. I've marked the ones that are still ongoing. The Huntingburg wastewater EDA grant is still ongoing. We have the Jasper EDA backup water supply. We're still working on that. And also we have our EPA brownfields assessment that was awarded to our region, our 6 counties. We are still looking for sites for that. That will be ongoing through the end of 2027. So we're also, other projects that we're participating in that are not necessarily grant related or grants that we worked on. I do want to highlight the town of Ferdinand. We did work on that application for, it's the Safe Streets for All through the federal highway. I think the county received one of those as well. But we worked on one for the town of Ferdinand. It was $100,000, and that was funded. So we also have the NDOT grant that's awarded for the 6 counties. It's a planning grant, and then also the EDA planning grant. And those are the 2 grants that your per capita fee matches. So it's spread out for the 6 counties. We're also, one of the things that we've been doing quite a bit of recently is the State Revolving Fund, or SRF. Their dollars require the federal Davis-Bacon wages to be paid. So even though those are mostly loan dollars, there's still a compliance factor to it for the labor standards. And so we've been working with communities to do that compliance check for them. So we're on the Huntingburg wastewater. It's Huntingburg Wastewater Division B. I didn't put that on here, but we are doing the SRF labor standards for them as well. And then we're continuing to work on potential projects into the future. Bird's Eye, working with them to come up with some funding for some major wastewater improvements that they need to do. We're also working with Ferdinand on some future trail funding that might come later this year. So we're always here as a resource, trying to move forward with any projects that might be out there and working to find that funding. So.
Nathan, do you have a business card by chance tonight?
I do.
I need one. I know
Okay.
you gave me one previously, but I can't.
Yes. There you go.
I'll be calling you.
All right.
Any questions or anything for
Yeah, on the
Nathan?
Hummingbird Library, that's Americans with Disability.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you have to do that really quick since they're in the process adding on right now?
Well, that's the thing. So they were planning to do all that all at once with all their work, but then the bids came in too high. The ADA was a component that could be pulled out and potentially apply for some grant funds for. We were going down that track, and new numbers for new low to moderate income numbers came out, and it ended up Huntingburg no longer qualified, and the townships surrounding it no longer qualified. So then we had to focus in and say, okay, well then ADA compliance does qualify. You don't have to look at the income numbers. We started looking at it, working with the library. I haven't heard any more from them. It was getting into almost where it was too difficult to actually get something qualified to fund. So I honestly don't know where that stands at this point. We were talking to them, but
Yeah, that would have been a good opportunity. I just hate that I've got to slip through there, but nothing you can do.
yeah, because it was really. I mean, the funding agency, it would have been the Office of Community and Rural Affairs, and they came back and said, well, only certain components of this project would qualify. I mean, they have to build a whole addition for the elevator and the entryway, but then they came back and said, well, just certain elements of this would qualify. And so you'd have to fund the rest of it that wouldn't count towards your match, and it was getting pretty nitpicky on that. So the last I heard, the library was in discussion. They were gonna talk to Universal Design and see what they could come up with, but I don't have an
One other
update.
question, you don't have to answer if you don't want, but, I mean, with budget changes, could you potentially not have any money or not be able to do some of these things anymore? I mean, honestly, I don't know, I'm just asking.
We don't know either.
Okay.
You know, that we're just continuing to work forward on, you know, the projects that we have and, you know, the traditional funding sources. It's kind of, everybody's just waiting to see. So, as far as right now though, we're just
Still
moving
got a
forward. We
job.
haven't heard otherwise.
We're all in the same shape, I believe.
Yeah.
Other questions? Otherwise, Nathan, thanks
You're
for
welcome.
coming on presentation, appreciate it. Travis?
Good evening, Travis McQueen, Huntingburg Airport. I think most of you all know our board president, Jim Hunsinger, board member Becky Beckman, and board member Tim Schnaus. Just here tonight for the additional appropriation requests. The board has passed that. We're just wanting to move some money around to be able to spend it on our very major project, the new Frosty Jones Terminal Building. We're looking to pull about $1 million out of our general operating fund, $300,000 out of our rainy day fund at this moment in time. So this is money that we already have in some of our piggy banks, so to speak, and some of our funds there at the airport. And so we're just wanting to tap into those to keep this project moving forward and to make it come to fruition. Any questions? Certainly entertain those. And always appreciate the partnership with the
Can you tell me
county.
those amounts
Please.
again, please?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize you didn't have one. Sorry, Sandy.
That's
My bad.
fine.
So we just continuing the project that you guys are great partners on. The Frosty Jones Terminal Building could not do the project but for your assistance and help with us to this point. So really appreciate the continued partnership with the council.
Is everything on pace?
So yeah, we're a little bit delayed till we get some winter weather, snow and freezing temperatures and things like that. We've got our foundations poured, our footers poured. We're coming up out of the ground right now with the kind of the knee wall foundations right now, Ryan. And so we're probably looking at another 2 weeks. We'll be doing concrete slabs and the like. So yeah, it's coming together. Yeah, we're still on course for. I got a meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock, but we should be on schedule for about a December grand opening.
Time for Christmas order.
Sounds great. Sounds good.
Sorry,
Please, the weather
please.
starts cooperating.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's
The
exactly
question
right.
is a little different topic. Have you heard anything about the solar park that was concerning the pilots? Cause I got some calls on that. Have you heard anything on that?
Nothing recently, but yes, in the past, definitely. I had some various, both sides of the equation. I talked to different landowners that were pro and some other
Sure,
concerns.
but what I was meaning is if it was gonna go forward.
Oh, yeah, to that point, no, I have not heard anything on that. It's been crickets. But yeah, I don't have anything new. That we're, yeah.
Otherwise, I don't have anything else. Anyone else?
Again, I just want to reiterate, appreciate the partnership we have with the council. Thank you so much. This project would not be to this point, and so thank you so much.
So we need a consensus to advertise, since they don't have an elected board, you guys have to serve. So we'll advertise it for next month, and then you guys can approve it.
Okay. Sounds fair enough. So we don't have to make any motion tonight? Okay. Well,
No,
thanks.
so, but next month we'll have it on there, and they won't have to come back to explain it to you.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Nice
thank
to meet you.
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
No, you're fine.
I guess next here is Chelsea for, if you wanna,
Good evening.
yeah, good evening.
Yeah,
So you're, introduce yourself for the public, I think.
sure. I'm Chelsea Brewer, Purdue Extension, the County Extension Director. We have had a full-time employee come to me, actually, not we, this is still just a me situation. They have requested to move into our vacant part-time position. However, the hours set in the budget for that part-time position is not enough for what I actually need them to continue to cover to make it feasible for that job to work still. So I am here requesting tonight to take the funding we had set aside for our seasonal assistant. I always get the assistant part wrong. Our seasonal assistant, which was usually a college-age student that came in just for the summer to help us with things, and to move that into the support staff position. And that'll give me enough hours to continue to have that full-time employee complete all the tasks that she does for me, and I'll just forego the intern this summer. That way I'm not needing any more money, just moving things around and shifting what we already have.
You know, I guess, I'll start out here. I mean, I don't, you know, we just got the budget set here in January, so we're into 2 months. We've already made a request to change it last month.
Yep.
And now this month, I just look back on some of the other budgets, you know, we only had a seasonal person and 3 people, so we, you know, in the past few years, so, you know, last year, I guess, is when we started the other part-time position. I
Yes.
don't know how that got split up or not. But isn't it important to have a seasonal person to help with these programs when the children come? I mean, that's when we do this, most of this.
So that seasonal assistant was helping mostly with fair preparation.
Okay.
And by having the support staff, which gave me a broader range, is where I could hire that person sort of indefinitely instead of just having them from June to July, August.
Well, that's important for the
Um,
children, you know, I mean, that's the programs you run, you know, isn't it? I mean, that's what we're,
Is it important for the college student or is
no,
it
it's
important
important for the children of the county.
That
I
work
would
is
think.
still getting done,
Okay,
yes.
so how are you looking at moving forward here then? We gonna hire someone into this full-time position? That's this person's wanting to come out of and go to a part-time position?
I would personally, I think, best plan of action, knowing that we have to pay out paid time off and any comp time that they have, and that we're already a few weeks into the year, maybe hold off for a month or so, see how this 20 hours a week goes before we decide what needs to happen. I also know I have a retirement coming up in the future, although she has not set a date. And I just think that our office is working very differently now with the current staff that we have in there, and so maybe it is time to look at those traditional office manager, administrative assistant positions that we've had and see, could we do things differently?
I mean, what's concerning to me is, you know, what we hear from the legislature and what we, you know, we pay out as a county. You know, I mean, your budget's, we budget almost $316,000 to run Purdue Extension. It's a lot of money. And, you know, and if we get cut next year, you know, we may have to start cutting positions instead of adding this. I don't know, I just feel uneasy somewhat about it, because I just feel, why do we create these positions? I just don't see, now we're creating a part-time position for a person instead of having, is it needed? You know, just kind of what you said, is it needed then? You know what I'm saying? You know, we made it so, all these years, and then we had one part-time person. Well, now we had 2 part-time people. Now you're saying we don't really need the one, we're just gonna make this part-time person do all the jobs. I don't know, I just,
Sure.
I'm concerned about it, because I know what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna develop into you start giving someone 20 or how many hours you're thinking about giving them. But
20 hours a week
20 hours
for
a week,
15 weeks
so
a
next thing
year.
it'd be, you're gonna be coming in here and say, well, we need another position here. You know what I'm saying? That's what's upsetting to me, I think, in some ways, so. I don't know, I'm
Is her
concerned.
reasoning, I'm assuming it's her, is it from, like having a baby?
No,
Okay, I thought maybe she could come back to the full-time.
no.
But I actually, one of my children just utilized, they cooked, I ate some of the pretzels, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely needed, yeah, we probably gotta trim some fat, but
Mhm.
I don't know if, it seems like you run a skeleton crew, what I know, so, if you can be more efficient, like you kinda hinted at, maybe that's good, but I'd hate to see any to lose a position for you. Through a state land grant university program that teaches kids how to eat, cook, and clean, and basic life skills. If we're gonna axe, I'd say we could really get into the budget and look at some other departments too, and that, if we're gonna go that route, that's my opinion.
Appreciate that. I would say at this current point in time, I don't feel that there is a need for the seasonal assistant. So if you're going to take anything away, it would be that position personally. We just don't have enough time to actually develop any future skills with them because it is such a short 8 weeks and we spend 2 of those out at the fairgrounds. And so really they're honestly helping us with office clerical sort of things, and this support staff is able to do that throughout the entire year and in a more timely manner for us. The support staff position developed out of need to have some more of that done here in the spring. I mean, we're already getting into tagging animals here soon, and that's a big job in itself. Just the management of the online system, help with those sorts of things. So that's where that position developed out of, and it originally was just 10 hours is what we had budgeted for this year, was 10 hours a week average, right? So we know that's gonna fluctuate, especially those 2 weeks of the fair, and we knew that we were gonna have them variably within that position. However, looking at the person that wants to move from their full-time position to their part-time position, they are the backbone of my office. If I lose them, I'm gonna be struggling. And I might need both of those full-time positions, but if I can keep this person on part-time, I might be able to shift one of those full-time. I hope that makes sense.
So how many full-time people do you have currently?
3.
You have 3, okay. And
Mhm.
how many part-time currently?
0.
0.
Yes. My part-time person just moved into a vacant full-time.
Within your department?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So previously there were 2 full-time and 1 part-time. Is that what you're
We
saying?
had somebody resign in November.
Okay.
Yes. So then in January, we filled that full-time position, and now a different position has wished to transition.
So then office manager, program assistant, and administrative assistant are 3 full-time?
Yes.
Okay.
Plus, you, right, you're paid by Purdue.
But that's
right?
paid by
Yes.
Purdue though.
And anyone else paid by Purdue?
Yes, we have Lauren Fenneman, who's our 4-H and youth development, and then Kenny Eck, who's the ag and natural resources.
Yeah.
So there are 3 Purdue employees and currently 3 county.
I don't know, I stated my concerns, I guess I open it up to the council, whoever has questions. I mean, it's,
I'm not as familiar with all of the duties and responsibilities within your area there.
I mean, I'm saying, and I think it's been the council's, opinion, that we don't create jobs for people. The positions there, you know, and then you fill the positions. You know, here it seems like, again, we're shifting, you know, we're getting, you know, and then this position won't, the seasonal assistant, the commissioners have to delete that then. You know, it's gonna stay on our books that we have to fund it then. So, you know, we can make an adjustment here. You know, normally this type of thing is done in August, you know, when we have our budget hearings. It's not, sometimes you just come in and ask to change them. That's my concern, you know, and it just seems like if you set a precedent like this and you're creating a position or funding a position for a person instead of having having a position open that you fill. I mean, I think it's just a principle of it, I think.
So there was a part-time position previously, right?
There's two.
There's two.
And
And-
one's full-time,
One is full-time.
yeah.
And you have how many part-time currently?
0.
It's
So
open.
we're not creating a new position, she's just moving from one to the other. So
Well, she's
I
wanting,
don't understand what,
she's wanting to transfer the money from one of the part-times.
right, but the discussion was we're creating positions for people, we're not creating a position, she's just moving from
You're
part-time
folding
to
two part-times into one
full-time to
full-time.
part-time.
Is what you're
Into
saying.
one part-time.
One part-time,
Sorry, say that again.
yes.
Two part-time positions, they were split,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and so she wants to move the money from one back to the other, so she has more money in the part-time line item to keep this person more and not use the other seasonal. Cause it used to be so many weeks and so many weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And this person's the integral person that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And she's leaving March 9th if I can't get her 20 hours. So
Just life changes, obviously she likes the job.
she has another position that's also part-time. So she's prepared to leave if you guys are not interested in moving the money.
The
And
o-
we'll fill her position and
The only other thing I can,
Okay.
I'm just gonna shoot off the cuff here. Could you keep her at support staff and then when it runs out, then move her to seasonal? It's the same pay.
just the same pay.
Yeah, it is.
Was that a
13.
headache for Marky?
Well, it's a headache for you when you
For
have
me?
to switch them.
Oh.
Cause on payroll, you'll have to switch from one
Okay.
line item to the other line item.
So
I'm
say that again, how would we do that?
She doesn't fill the part-time positions. She does move this person to part-time and uses the one line item until it runs out, and then she uses the other line item. And she still has two positions, but, or you
How is
guys can
that
train.
better though? I mean.
It's not, I'm
Okay.
just,
I mean, based on what Mike's comments were, is what I was asking. It's just a way to.
because 2 years ago, this was one position and she split them into two part-time. It was one part-time position, and she split it, now you're kinda saying put it back
Put it
together
back together.
for the time being.
For the time being.
I wonder why we split that at that time. I couldn't find the, I couldn't find what the past budgets, I couldn't figure out why we split them.
To get a longer extension of the work, right? So somebody that we could hire
The money was-
locally that would be able to, we also anticipated that being our transition plan for this person that is gonna retire. We could, the office manager, we could hire the full-time, maybe keep the old office manager on as a support staff to try and mentor them up just for a short period of time. Life happens, things change. I got told last week that she would either be leaving me or I needed to find more hours for her. So
I mean, is she
I am.
gonna be satisfied with the amount of money she's gonna make
Yes,
per hour?
yes, we did have a discussion on that and the fact that she would lose benefits and she's like,
Right.
it's okay. She's aware of the budget I did share, this was the budgetary amount.
So I have one more question.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
trying to follow all
No,
of
you're
this
good.
now. So currently you have 3 full-time and 0 part-time.
Yes.
So if you take away one of your full-time, make her part-time, and you're saying you don't need an intern, right? Because
Mhm.
for the summer, but then you're short a full-time
Yeah,
position.
I'm short a full-time position.
Right, so how do you make up for that gap? I guess that's what I'm interested in, that you would be coming back again and saying, we need another position again.
Yes, so I definitely don't wanna get rid of that full-time position at this point in time. I think it's a little bit, I need to put on my brakes until I see when my office manager is going to retire and then decide which one is more important to fill. Because hiring is tough right now. Hiring is really tough. When we hired that administrative assistant position in November, I got probably 45 applications, and you could tell none of them actually read the job description.
I understand that.
So, I don't wanna be too anxious to fill a position just because it's open, as long as it's working in the office. So that, again, would save the county some money if I were to slow down and be strategic with my hiring.
Okay, and I have no idea who you're talking about, who's who in your office,
Sure.
so, I totally don't know that. But I just needed to make sure financially it worked, and then you were going to come back to us again and say, okay, now I do need more money, when you already have a full-time position, but you're at risk, I'm hearing you say.
Yes.
Well, we got it budgeted, so she, once
Yeah.
that lady, whoever
It
it is,
is.
moves
Okay.
into the part-time, then she's got an open position she can hire. The money's there.
Okay.
So the only thing we're talking about is the part-time.
But it kinda seems like she doesn't really need us, cause she can do it anyways. It's already budgeted if she moved up from line.
Well, that's what I think. She
Well,
should just
the
move
only
it.
thing she couldn't do is hire that full-time until we pay, because when this lady leaves, or when this person leaves, we're gonna have to pay them out. Their PTO time and their comp, any comp they may have.
Mm-hmm.
So that may take her a week or two further.
Okay, so you have to wait until that amount, okay, I get it.
I mean, I personally would be in favor of just letting her shift the 2 positions.
And we can
You know, you
address
fill,
the next budget.
be in the
Yes.
support staff
Yeah,
one
this
time,
is
and then when that money
Band-Aid
runs
till
out,
fix it
go to the
July.
other.
Now, Chelsea, when somebody full-time leaves, they have to do it on the end of a pay period, because you got perf in there,
Okay.
and you cannot have them part-time and full-time in the same pay period.
Okay.
Perf doesn't like that.
I think she considered that, but I will go back and
Yeah,
double check.
you cannot,
Okay.
we'll get dinged, trust me.
I will double check.
It has to be on a clean break.
So does she technically, if we would go that direction, does she technically need our permission to see?
Not if she puts them in the part-time and then the other part-time. The only thing that would be cleaner is if you move it all into one line item, so we just pay them, the straight line item.
Mm-hmm.
But,
But
I mean,
you
it's
know, you may
doable.
wanna see how this goes, cause you may not want it this way.
and then
In
you may
theory,
want,
it's a Band-Aid fix, but it works, and you'll see how it's going. And during budget time, we can address it and see how you like it, right? I mean,
I think that
do we want 1 and 2 still, or, where
She-
you're at then?
she may work part-time for a month and go, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still have your 2 positions.
Yeah.
So if we move that money out, do the commissioners automatically have to get rid of that position
No,
right now?
if
Okay.
you move the
I can just
seasonal
sit
money
with
to the
a
support,
$0
then you
amount
couldn't hire a
position.
seasonal
Right.
anymore this year.
Right.
Which sounds like you really don't need the seasonal person anyway.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
You don't need us.
But
I do though. I so desperately do.
But please work with us on a clean break,
Yes.
because we can't.
You don't wanna get
dinged.
dinged,
No ding.
no digging.
Okay, so to clarify, I will move her to the support staff, and when that money is gone, I will move her to the seasonal. Is that correct?
That's what I
Okay.
would, sure,
So
then we'll
please
address
work with
it.
Brooke and keep monitoring that.
Okay, sounds good. I can do this. I believe in myself. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so, I guess the people are waiting.
Well, they're here for the additionals
Yeah, that's what I said, let's.
If you
let's-
wanna
let's
grab
hit on
them.
that first, so,
I was gonna try to inform, but they decided to come, so.
yeah.
They knew you were having computer problems.
Yeah. Yeah, Brett did.
Like my phone was blowing up. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
He goes, "Who's the Galaxy?" I go, "I don't know," and then you call me.
What number you need?
Okay, it came in for additional appropriations on Cume Bridge out of highway. First one is $200,000 at Cume Bridge. It's for 2 bridges that I want to rehabilitate. I will need, it's something that I'm going to design in-house, but I will need a contractor to do the work. So that's what I'm asking for, $200,000, $100,000 a bridge. We're gonna lump them all together, get one contractor, that way one goes over, one goes under, because it's more frequent.
And you had the ones listed,
Yeah,
which is St. Anthony Road, west and north.
yeah.
I mean, it's coming out of the Cume Bridge Fund, so I mean, it's, the money's there, so.
Yeah.
Any discussion there for Brett? Otherwise, I'll
I'll
entertain
make
a
a
motion.
motion.
Pardon me?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Doug has made a motion to approve the 200,000 additional appropriation.
I'll second.
Second, so further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay, so the next one is out of highway, out of MVH. It is for equipment. You guys, during budget time last year, gave us $290,000 out of QCAP, which we're grateful for. I don't wanna take it the wrong way, but we need also an additional 290 out of MVH. So I say all this, but what I'm gonna bring up to you here in a minute for consensus is doesn't make sense, but this is for equipment. This is for trucks that we have. Last year, Steve presented what equipment we're trying to pick up, and it's for 2 single axle dump trucks and then one 4x4 ton truck that we use for pushing the snow. So that's what we're asking for. That's what that 290 is going to go for. So that's what we're
So
asking.
on this 5-year plan.
Correct.
So you're saying it's 2 single axles.
So the 290 that you guys provided out of QCAP bought the quad axle to replace the tri-axle truck, and it bought Donnie's new truck because that 3/4 ton it's been used. So we're gonna get him a new truck. So that's what that first 290 out of QCAP purchased. Now we're requesting the net 290 out of NVH for 2 single axle dump trucks and a flatbed dump truck.
So MVH, that's money that's, where does that money, is
It's
that?
gas tax.
It's their highway funds.
Ones.
I think last year, we took 290 and thought we didn't need it
Yes,
here, and we put it
yes.
over here, and he really needed both
I
of them.
needed both of them. So like I said, we were appreciative of QCAP very much so, because it helped. But that was only half of what we were needing for our equipment rotation.
So would this be, what you're asking for tonight is the 290 for highway, which is in the budget?
It is not in the budget. It was not budget. This is unappropriated money out of MVH. Every year we come to you guys.
So, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the money, the 290 you're spending for these other trucks is in the budget, that's in the 2025 budget?
Yeah, the QCAP, yes,
That's
correct.
in there, right? Okay.
Correct.
So this is an additional. All right.
Correct.
I understand it.
Yeah.
Now I was a little bit confused there.
Which one did the truck come from right before the hurricane that you guys picked up out east? Which one did that come from? I don't remember. When the guys went out east to get that truck.
That tandem,
Yeah,
that got paid out of last year's MVH budget.
last year's MVH budget.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
That's the one we're building as we speak.
Yeah, and that was an older truck, but
Yeah.
a reliable type of.
Correct.
Is this 2 quad axle?
No,
Just one.
It was one quad out of QCAP and then Donnie's truck.
Oh, gotcha.
And then 2 singles and a flatbed will come out of MVH.
Brett, who do you purchase those?
Max is getting prices as we speak. I don't know yet who he was trying to get them from. Rooksers, from Sternberg's. Was it Kenworth?
Yes.
The Kenworth dealer out of Evansville, is that right?
I think so, yes.
So there's 3 or 4, and we use Sourcewell, which is a state bid.
That was-
Trying to go through that, yeah.
That was the part of my question, right?
That's the same thing we were talking about with the
Yeah.
Sourcewell.
Yeah,
Okay.
we purchased them via the Sourcewell.
So we can we can approve this tonight then.
Mhm.
So, further discussion on this, does everybody understand that the 290, it's in the budget, so spending 180 or whatever it is, so otherwise I'll entertain a motion to approve the 290 additional appropriation out of, highway.
I'll move.
Okay, Dina's made a motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Sonia second, further discussion, otherwise all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Okay, so the last thing I got is Community Crossings 2025-1, which is, we applied for in January. It's a $2 million, 50 or 25, 75 grant. We've done it before in the past. What it is, we are on the hook, if I get that out of my hand. We are on the hook for $509,000 for a $2 million project. It's pretty good money, you know, best bang for our buck we can do. But way this winter is blowing up with these roads. That's why this equipment, we just did $290,000 for equipment. But what I'm asking for, is there any way that you guys would be willing to split the match for community crossings out of MVH and out of LIT? The reason I ask that is because of these chip seal roads with this cold winter we've had, freeze and thaw. We don't know where we're gonna be with these roads. It would free up money for our chip seal roads, which are gonna take a beating with the freeze and thaw. That's the reason I'm asking. It hasn't been advertised, it has nothing, I'm just bringing it to the table with an idea to see if you guys will entertain it. We can absorb it right now, but I'm gonna have to cut some paving projects that we do, I call them in-house paving, that we pay for out of MVH. I'm willing to do that, it's not the problem, it's just not, I'm just throwing it out as an idea.
So your ask is, you know, from the lit fund is 255,000
Correct.
roughly
That's correct.
speaking.
Correct. 250 would be fantastic. Like I said, it's not it's just I'm asking. I figured, of course, you guys can say is no, so.
Thoughts from the council? So you have any thoughts?
Well, I got a question about 1200 South, isn't that the county line road?
That is Clan Island Road? Yep.
Does Spencer County help with that?
So we maintain your south and your east border. So any border roads that run across are directly our responsibility. That is state statute.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yep.
I just see you guys working your tail off down there all the time and they don't do crap. It's like, how is this possible?
Go to the north side where the other counties have to do it.
Okay, does Martin hold up?
So like
there?
Pike County does the west side, that's their east border, they take care of
But
900.
Martin has the White River, so they don't have to
That's
do
correct. It's the nature of the beast, it is what it is. Like Spencer County, south border is so the river, so I don't know, so.
Okay, I was just curious. I mean, that road is
Yeah.
getting a little bit.
It is getting
Like very much all of Martin County, you just go straight.
straight through north south, yeah, there's not any east west roads.
Do you need an answer on this? When do you have to answer to?
Well, I was gonna advertise, is what I was gonna ask. I was gonna have Ann get the money to advertise and get started on it for the next meeting.
From this.
This is not an
state.
answer I need right now, it's just, I wanna get it out there, you guys can ask me questions, if you guys say, no, we can't do this, or no way, then I'm done, but if,
When is the community crossings grant? When do you have to submit it?
it's already been submitted. That's why I said, I can eat the match, we've got it in our budget, we've got an appropriated money to do this, it's not a big deal at all. But with the way the winter is, I've got other paving projects that I wanna do, and if I can still do them, it's by, if you guys are willing to sponsor half of it, that's, you know, and still be able to fix some of these rock roads. It allows me to do more money. If, like I said, if you guys say no, we can't afford it, it's just tight, I get it, I'm gonna pull some paving projects, it's just, it is what it is, it's not a big deal, so, it's not a problem.
I mean, we had that conversation kind of with Chelsea. Let's say a year from now, we couldn't match you.
Mhm.
You would just dissect these roads on prioritize them on what's
I would, yeah,
has
so.
to be done, cause I
for-
mean, it's a realistic possibility.
Yeah, no, you're right, you're exactly right, these projects will get done, these right here will get done. I have other ones that I wanna do, I have 5 other projects that I wanna do paving wise, I will scrap them. And like I said, that's not being mean, right? It is what it is, and we're gonna focus on these chip seal roads.
I appreciate you being forward thinking, I just really don't know, I'm just curious what you would do in that situation,
Yeah.
if we could say no.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna scrap those paving projects is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
That's just what's gonna happen. So,
Yep.
I may try to chip seal a few of them, chip seal overlay them just to kind of band-aid them over, to hold them over for a couple more years. It's fine. It really is not a big deal.
So you're guaranteed the 2.39 million.
I'm not guaranteed. It's applied for. I haven't got a word yet. It was supposed to happen in March. We'll see. It usually happens by road school is when they say you got them or you didn't get them.
So I guess, to make this decision, could we have another month?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what I was just gonna say is if you guys will entertain it. I was afraid that I was entertaining this. You guys are like, no way, get out of here, wasting your time. So, because
Well,
I don't see these not being awarded. We've been lucky, knock on wood. And the community crossing fund itself is very healthy, so I see them continue on what we're doing.
At
And-
that amount. you
Yeah,
have to pay.
NDOT has been very pleased with how we do our community crossings, so I don't see a big hurdle there.
And we do have the wheel and road and surtax that they're requiring now, so.
Correct.
so
Other
you
counties
don't
may
think
not.
The legislature's gonna do some serious cutting in this regard,
Not yet.
No.
It will, but not yet.
so that would be 2026
Six.
possibly.
Yeah, that's when things will change, and I'm sure it'll be altered. I mean, you've seen the bill. It'll be altered. How, I don't know yet.
Well, I think, public perception and safety for our citizens, I think, to have safe and roads that don't have potholes all over them, is an important thing. So, comment I wanna make, that's,
And
I mean, it's.
I feel like we
definitely-
could advertise for this. We don't, do you need to know where the
I
money's
don't need-
coming when we advertise for it?
I have to say what fund,
yeah,
And lit would be the way to do
Lit
it.
would be, yeah.
Yes, develop.
but I have a few weeks, cause you don't meet till the
Yeah.
31st, so we
and
don't
I don't need a
press.
yes. I really don't. I just want to make sure that it was okay, we'll entertain it, we'll think about it. Instead of you guys saying, no, we've got this, and this, we don't have the funds for it, then it's fine. Then it is, we're done, and I'm not wasting anybody's time. This is more just feeling everybody out, see how you guys feel about the situation.
So we could take this under advisement then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Definitely
see
entertaining.
what our funds are.
So then
Go from
we
there.
can advertise it, and I can come back at the March meeting, and we can discuss it and get a yes or no that way. If you guys are okay with that, anyways.
We don't go to press till mid.
Okay. I'm not blindsiding you guys, and you guys got time to think about it, call me, email me, whatever. We can hammer it all out.
So in order to advertise it, would we have to have a consensus tonight?
I can advertise it, you just don't have to approve it.
Just say no.
It's just better if you do have a consensus, cause then I don't put something out there and pay you to advertise and then you guys say, oh, no, we don't want that.
Does everybody feel comfortable about having a show of hands, or would you rather not? Or will?
I would feel comfortable with it because we can debate it, and if we change our mind, we can still do that, so.
Okay, so what Brett has suggested here, let's have a show of hands. So it's gonna be a $250,000 ask is what it's gonna be,
That'll
so,
be it.
so who's in favor of it?
Okay. So 250 from Lit, and you guys would do the 259 from MVH?
Yes, correct. We will do the rest of it. So, perfect, I appreciate that. I'll be back at the March meeting, and we can, if you guys have any questions, call me, email me. I'll talk to you guys wherever you guys wanna do it, sit down, whatever. So, let me know.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I just got a question for Donnie, with the new truck, are you gonna do ride-alongs for commissioners and council? Cause I've actually, to be totally honest with you, I've had, some citizens say, why don't the commissioners and council ever ride with the superintendent anymore? And I said, I'm pretty sure, Steve or now Donnie would gladly accommodate us.
Absolutely.
You get a crew cab, so I can ride it back.
Yep.
I've ridden with both of them, well, Steve, not Donnie, and then Brent.
You're welcome to.
Yeah, you guys wanna come
Show
out?
you the roads?
All seriousness, sometimes we get some crooked signs. We just got some people that are very attended, and they asked me, hey, you guys still riding with, Steven, at the time, Steve? I said, I haven't lately, and they said, well, I thought I'd ask you, and I figured you'd take me up on it.
I believe they used
Is that-
to quite a bit,
Yeah.
but the last.
You guys are welcome to. You really are. You want someone to come out, take a tour, see the facility, see some roads, see the projects we're working on, come out. Seriously. We're both open. We have nothing, nothing. We're welcome to it. It's actually great, in my opinion. Everybody's knows what's going on.
I remember
one
that
year
tour around the
we all
area.
went out on
They used to do the bus tours.
Yeah, they used to do bus
Feel
tours.
better
Yeah.
about it.
toured the
I mean,
county,
figure
lots
out-
of different projects going on.
Huh.
Yeah, it was neat.
That was pretty cool.
I
Is
did
this
not know I-
CCNG
it was
2501?
very interesting,
Wow.
yeah,
And we checked the bridges
and the bridges, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one year.
yeah.
So, if you want to come out, come out. Donnie's doing nothing. Just go out to stuff.
Come out and help pour concrete.
Thanks a lot.
Nice.
I offered to snowplow, but they wouldn't let me.
That's all right.
I went driving with Steve somebody one time when it was really bad roads, and I was white knuckling it the whole time down and up and down those back roads. I'm like, Jesus Christ, get over, get over. It was scary.
Sandy, you're getting a phone call next time.
You're gonna give me the worst
Why?
road out there, aren't you?
You ready? You're here for that. Just,
Actually, Sandy's,
Um,
you kind of worked on that document because of your
I
map.
yes.
didn't know if you wanted to.
See ya.
Thank you.
See ya.
I sent a spreadsheet to you guys, how I kinda calculated this change for these two officers. So we'll need some transfers and we'll need I don't know, we did, I gotta refresh my memory here a little bit.
It's confusing.
The opioid restricted, so we did some transfers.
We got transfers and we got, salary ordinances.
Okay, the opioid restricted money, we're gonna move money from what we already budgeted for drug screenings into part of the salary for one of the night officers and the benefits. So it's a transfer from drug screens, $24,931.57, which you see on the one column. If you guys had
Right.
that, and then, so that would be a transfer, and then the other one is the CR tax.
Opioid restricted. What's that?
Sandy, did that also include the health insurance? At 24,931.57.
The health insurance is down here.
I'm looking at different.
So under CNR tax, the insurance is what, 24,841, I think it's.
Yeah, in the CNR tax, in the opioid, it's 4,932, in the CR tax, it's this column down here.
Yep, right, that's what I was pertaining. So what do we have to,
So I did an additional appropriation of $99,608 out of CNR tax, which is the first column. And then we did a transfer for the opioid money from the drug screens to the officers and the benefits. So you wanna do them one at a time, or how do you wanna?
yeah, let's, last meeting we decided to split this up, because, that's why this just got complicated somewhat. So, does everybody understand what we're doing here?
And the
general
drug
picture?
screens were a match to a different grant that he has. And so Chad, I guess in your advisory council, I don't know, they decided to use some of this opioid money so we get the match accomplished by June.
JRAC meeting.
Yeah, sorry.
So you wanna start, I checked out, your worksheet,
I mean, I
checked out everything.
I think we worked, I know I worked on it quite a while to try to get it to
I mean, it makes sense.
come out in balance.
So which one do we wanna move on first?
Do you wanna do the additional from the CNR tax first?
That's fine. So
$99,608.
And that's on this sheet too, you know, it's spread, so I'll entertain a unless we got questions, other questions, otherwise I'll entertain a motion to approve that $99,608.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We got a first and a second, further discussion. So all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Now with that, I need a salary ordinance, which is here. The salary ordinance, this person will be paid $1,812.19 bi-weekly max, and holiday pay would be $258.84 per holiday max.
And that's coming out of the CR line.
Yes.
Everybody understand that? Okay. Discussion, otherwise I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded, so further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Okay. And this person, then this position can start tomorrow.
Okay.
There's those that go together. And so then the next one would be to transfer money from the other services drug screens in the amount of $24,931.57 to personal services. The night officer would be $16,827.39. The benefits for Pike and Perf would be $3,171.97, and health insurance $4,932.21.
So that transfer, $24,931.57. Questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Dina has made a motion, it's been seconded by Ryan. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Wyatt, are there any, bills at the State House right now that are concerning to the corrections office? You know, I was reading one about the jail and holding them, that we will no longer be in reimbursement. Are we looking at anything like that on your end?
I know, House Bill 1001 is, recommending a budget increase for that, what you're talking about.
So that would fix that problem?
Yeah, but that's concerning the
The jail, I don't know. On you guys, are we
There
seeing?
is something, and I spoke with, Senator Schmidt today on the phone and exchanged emails. The community corrections, justice reinvestment grant, that whole process, that funds 251 different initiatives basically. Whether that's community corrections, programs, pretrial, prosecutor conversion, drug courts, that sum of money has not seen an increase since about 2017. It's about $72.5 million. I think you all know that with salaries and operational costs, since 2017, much more money is needed. So right now it's flatlined. There's been no increase proposed. So
But no decrease either to that?
no decrease, no, but there's no increase either, which.
So you're gonna try to get, Senator Schmidt to
Support it, yeah.
support
and-
this bill here?
There's several directors, probation and community correction directors contacting their, representatives to try to gain support.
Okay, on that, we still got a.
Then I need a salary ordinance for the opioid, the same amounts, $1,812.19 bi-weekly and $258.84 per holiday.
So that's just coming out of different funds, so I'll entertain a motion, unless there's discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve that amendment to the salary ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, may I have a second?
Second.
Alex is second, so all in favor say aye. Anyone opposed?
Now, the thing is this opioid restricted money will be finished by the end of June. Then we'll switch everything to the other one.
Okay.
And you can see that on here, that's why I have so many weeks and all that.
Thanks for doing that spreadsheet. That
That's
makes
when I can make it make
sense.
sense. Sometimes you gotta lay it out.
That was more than an hour's work I would have.
Yeah.
Make our budget more difficult.
So, thanks, Warren. You wanna say anything to the council, or?
I'm actually here for like one of the last item on the agenda, just the commissary review report, just in case there was any questions.
Okay. We did not, I mean, the committee, we did not, I think I sent you an email.
Yeah.
The only thing, we mentioned is that, you know, the things that, you know, I think that the employee meetings, you know, I don't know if that's appropriate to, you know, like we discussed, so that's the only thing we've seen. I mean, we went through it, it all made sense, and we did call you, you know, and I met with you that one, called you one other time, so we had a good explanation of everything, so
Okay.
thanks. It's
Alright.
pretty detailed, I don't know if you can share that, you know, with Joanne.
He has shared it with Joanne, and she does have his, I think she started this year with the new
Okay.
one.
So that,
Makes it a little easier.
yeah, I mean, it's easy to read, it's easy to follow, you know, I just was wishing that the sheriff, would utilize that form, but I guess he's gonna do it according to what the state statute says, and we can't do much about it, so.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's see what else do we have here.
I still have one more additional appropriation.
Okay,
The courthouse HVAC temp controls, $260,000 from Lit Ed.
yes, I mean, we, as far as the commissioners and the county attorney's been working on a contract, with Mesmer Mechanical, and, you know, we need to approve that tonight, so they can move forward, and then, the commissioners will work on the, signing it at their next meeting. So, any questions or have come up on that? It's $260,000 is what we want to,
I know we talked about it a bunch.
so I think everything's in line to get get started, to get started and hopefully have it done in I mean, they got a 6-month time frame to get it done. And I spoke with, Scott Holt about helping coordinate that as far as, you know, that they don't come in one office and say, hey, we're gonna be working over your desk today, you know, that somebody should coordinate that,
Right.
we can, keep a civilized, proper way of doing it.
Makes sense.
So, I'll entertain a motion to approve that $260,000 for the courthouse and
We'll make that
KSC.
motion, fine.
Okay, Meredith just made a motion, yeah, a second,
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded, so further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So, that's everything, huh? I don't see anything else.
I have the Live Springs appointment.
Yes, okay, on that particular thing, we had, had spoken, Alan's, I think I sent an email out of this, Alan Smockin, is serving on that now, and he's, he said he would serve another term. I think he's really interested in Live Springs, and I think he has to attend, they go down, to their head office down toward Louisville or Clarksville or someplace where it's at, but I think they have their meetings down there, but he's been very active in that, so I would recommend that we appoint him, for another term. This will be his last term though. He cannot serve as far as Live Springs, you know, he can't serve any more terms, 3 terms I think is all he can serve, so I'll entertain a motion to approve. Alan.
I approve Alan Smock for Life Springs.
Okay, Alan, Alex has made a motion, may I have a
I will
second?
second.
Dina has second, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Yeah, one thing he wanted to tell me that it seems like, you know, they built a new facility out the, on Rumbach Avenue, or off Rumbach Avenue, where it's at. And, you know, it's a 24 bed facility, men and women, and he's wanting, you know, to get the word out of, you know, if you know of anyone that needs those type of, patients, but it's overnight patient type of thing, and just for the public also, you know, that, Life Springs has a 24-hour facility there, so. Okay.
I do have another additional, the courthouse was out of water last week, and we are gonna have to do a fix to the backflow.
Blackfoot preventers from in this building and in the courthouse.
So,
We ran out of water? What happened?
the city came and changed the meters here and over there, and when they did it here, it went fine. If they did over there, they had an issue with the backflow valves, things like this big, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they worked on it several hours that morning, and we were down with no water. And then they got it working, but it has to be replaced. And of course, they don't make what we have anymore. So Mike may know more than I know, but I think it's gonna cost $4,500.
Do we have to take that to bid, or is that kind of an emergency, or what is?
Well, he had to make a decision, and he, I talked to him about it. He was wanting us to appropriate the money, and I said, he's got a $30,000 maintenance fund to do the courthouses. And I asked him if he would just go ahead and use those funds, and he said, well, it's so early in the year, his concern is he'll be using up his maintenance fund, but I told him that we'd advise the board that if he comes in and, you know, September needs more money for maintenance, that we would support him, but, you know, does that make sense?
So
And
he
what it
may be
is-
coming at this fall and saying, I need more repair and maintenance money because of this.
It's $4,500, is it?
Makes sense.
What they're doing is, I guess they're putting remote readers on the water, the meters.
Yep.
So when they took it off, the backflow preventer on both, he said both buildings would not function properly. So they had to replace the backflow preventers on both of them, and they're not completed yet. They put a
Right. It's a-
plate or something in
it's a-
there, so it wouldn't.
It's a Band-Aid right now.
Yeah, and that's on our side of the meter.
It's in well, the one I saw was in the courthouse basement.
Who's doing it?
Okay.
This one?
He's got an expert doing it, or they gave a quote, cause they came up to try to figure out if the backflow preventer was bad or what's going on here.
So basically, they stubbed a piece of pipe in there, and you shouldn't drink the water till they get it fixed right.
They told us the water's safe.
Okay.
I told us, I said the same
Wanna
thing.
bring her water?
I said, you know, we're gonna suck water
Bring
out of
iron.
it, get into the system. They
Um,
put some kind of, I
No,
don't know what.
it was the day that it was like 6 degrees outside, and we had to keep coming over here to go to the bathroom from over there. But it worked, we made it through. But I just kinda wanna make you aware, because that may be something he is gonna ask for.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, 'cause I had a note here too, you wanted me to bring that up too. Okay, just a couple things here. I was gonna ask you, Ryan, to make a little report on that Precious Angel thing again.
Oh,
You know, that we attended that on, January 24th.
yep, we did. They were very thankful. That was, the Precious Angels was complete. The concrete's done. We had a nice little, check presentation there. We're just waiting on the bench. That apparently takes 6 months to get in. So as soon as we get that in, we'll put our little plaque on it, and we'll have it sitting there. And it was a nice event on a very cold, icy day, but, that is one appreciative group, so I'm glad we.
So it was just Sandy was there.
Sandy and Mike.
It was icy.
Yeah, it was very icy, so thank you guys for coming. I know they really appreciated it, and we got that done, so.
And then we did attend, I think Ryan and I attended the advisory board meeting, 911 advisory board meeting. I think Doug, you were out of town or something there, so he wanted us to sit in on it, so it took two council people to take care of
To
it.
fill fill your shoes, Doug, I hope you like that.
But I think the only thing I gleaned from, I mean, was one of the big things is that, again, is the weather sirens, the coordination between the city and the county 911s. That was some of the, most of the talk that night. So I think they're working on that. So, and then, salt and water, I think a couple of us went to the salt and water meeting, last on the 20th.
Good fried chicken.
And, so that was a good event. And you had brought up to me, Ryan, about, I looked, you know, there's really a note that I can find that there's no board appointment to that.
Okay.
I think what we talked about when we designated the, appointments to the boards, I think we just said that you would maybe, check in on them and try to visit with them in the meetings.
Cause they've all, you know, it's done a 360 out there, so.
So Charmaine used to be a liaison for the county council when I was a supervisor for soil and water. Charmaine directly asked me to do it, and I said no, because we need somebody that sells real estate in Jasper to learn about soil. Cause I love it, but I almost get too much of it, so that's why I thought Ryan or somebody else would do great. And that meal was, I mean, even for anything, if you just eat that meal once a year, it's worth it.
No, I think it's good. I think with all the turnover, we kind of had lapsed that and had nobody there for a little while, so I think going forward,
Yeah, I mean,
Try to
if you could
amend
kinda-
that and
If you could kind of.
I'll reach out to 'em.
Cause I sat in on a few meetings out there, you know, it's good to get to know
Yeah.
people, know them.
So I'll take that on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really important. People just hear about it like what, but
It's a nice
the
resource.
soil is the life of the earth, so it's a good deal.
That was a heck of a presentation that guy put.
Pretty
in.
Ray's a customer of mine. He's a good guy. He's very eccentric. He's very interesting.
That's an interesting concept.
I don't,
Did you-
we didn't get on the commissary review report to share. You know, again, I don't know if you wanna speak on it, or we just,
Well, I think-
we went through and we sent the email out.
We went through, we had some questions and some concerns. I don't know if we wanna go into those questions and concerns, or just know that we had requested some receipts, that obviously I don't think we're gonna get.
Unless we make an appointment. I think.
So, I guess, you know, I think from our updates, and you know that the commissary's kind of been a hot topic as far as our review committee is that we are the review committee, we're not the auditors. So we have some questions on it to address, just to make sure that they're falling in line to things that we've approved and not approved. And have some questions on some things that just maybe explanation. So I don't know, you guys probably have more to add, I don't know.
I really don't. I mean, it's just as simple as that, but.
Simple and
I mean, you know, the balances didn't work, that's what worried me.
the starting balance and ending balance didn't match.
But I think, you know, I still think it's something, we're not auditors, I mean, I would like to see them and review them. And you know, I don't see why we can't get them sent to us and have the whole board look at them. But if he doesn't wanna do that, I don't know, then, you know, and just, I don't think we did get for the first half, we did get some receipts.
Got it for the first half.
Yeah. I mean, they were just scanned in and sent to us, but, so. I don't know, I think we made the point here, I'd like to see them, we got it in writing, and we want them scanned and sent to us. That's where I'm gonna stand, unless somebody's got a better, we go out there.
That's our state statute.
Well, we go out there and, you know, we look at them, well, you know what I'm saying, you know, that's, so we're gonna need to get them copied or to have something, anything for our records. I mean, I think things should be in writing, you know, that's the appropriate way to run government. You know, we shouldn't have to be, we should be transparent, and so, that's my thoughts. So, you know, when, I think every year we are audited, right, Sandy, normally, so. I
Yep,
mean,
it'll
at that
be-
time, they'll just go out there and audit it again. So,
I have not heard from them, but I did turn in the annual report, so they should be getting a schedule, cause we will be a federal audit again. We have enough money spent federally, so they usually come spring, summer.
And, I mean, we've had quite a few meetings
do some things and we kinda, do they have money? This our sewer district debt? Do they need seed money or anything to help with any of these projects? Cause we've not budgeted.
Well, I mean, the understanding we got right now is the county will pay for it, when we get on our feet here.
Yeah.
To get, to get the infrastructure more or less in, and that's supposed to, I mean, if the financing works, but that's gonna be some hard decisions for the council to put that kind of money in that project.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think after, probably by the next meeting, we'll have better understanding of what, where we're at on it.
Is that right?
I
Good?
totally agree, right. I reached out to some different funding sources. I'm still waiting to hear back. It'll be an overnight process, but it's in process.
Crack the whip, that's awesome. Find us some money.
Working on it. If anybody has any ideas too, please let me know. I'll certainly follow up on them.
Otherwise, Son, do you have anything else?
I have nothing.
Dina? Ryan?
Nothing outside what we've discussed already.
I went a week without hearing about the radios in the county, so I don't know what's going on with that. Some of those people are concerned on the volunteer fire department, so I don't know. Once they contacted Sandy about maybe coming to commissioners and council, but he's looking for some data before he comes.
Okay. Who is that,
Brad Beekler
Brad
is the
Beekler.
one that told me he was gonna be on the schedules, but I don't know when he's gonna do that for sure.
he was at that meeting,
He was
the
at
other night again.
My takeaway from that meeting, a suggestion would be that we need a tech committee of 4 people to advise true facts. And not everybody's, I mean, it needs to be a non-biased tech committee analyzing our system and saying, this is what you need, because everyone's got their own opinions on it, got a little heated.
Yeah.
I think back in 2016, we did have
Tech committee,
or a consultant come in
County consultant,
and look at the
basically.
whole system, but that's been,
It may need to be, that's my 10 cents on it, because I know nothing about the gigahertz.
And I'll let you guys and Doug speak to it, but would he have a chance to ever be on that committee?
Yeah.
Because he's told me that he's not gonna have that chance because people don't want him.
I would
say,
I couldn't say that.
Okay.
I have something to say about it. I think
He's passionate
I think
about
he's
it.
passionate. I think he has a lot of knowledge that would be invaluable to helping look out other avenues and things that could be possibilities of resolving any issues or anything like that.
Well, I mean, I would assume your 911 committee would appoint, right, you would set up this force, a task force, I think it would be in your wheelhouse, is that how,
Yeah,
am I right on
that's
that?
what I mean, in meetings prior to that, that's what we kind of talked about as far as people who were involved in the whole process of kind of trying to address the issues and everything.
And if it gets to the-
it sounded, on my end, it sounded like he would be someone that would be involved in that as well.
Well, if your 911 advisor would recommend a committee, let's see if the council can, assign one, a member, and the commissioners can have one, and the advisory board can have 2. I mean,
On this tech committee?
yeah, on the tech committee,
But what do we know about it?
we can appoint someone.
Oh,
Wouldn't the advisory board, the 911 advisory board be responsible for that?
I think they would do that.
They would do it.
That's
I mean, I'm just saying it, so.
Cause the board has the fire,
You got
volunteer
it.
firefighters, like all the departments and stuff, so like all the people that would know or have knowledge of who should be on it.
But
I
it's
mean, we
just-
got Jasper on there.
Well,
we
and
got-
that's a good idea to have that separate committee.
There is tension with
Yeah.
different things, just because of different issues from past and stuff, and working with different things, so there are issues to work out there, but, we are working towards doing that, getting something put together and getting a consultant.
Yeah, and that, if you had a separate committee, maybe he would fill a role there. I think what he was meaning was, is there any openings or appointments available? And I didn't think that there was.
I think it's all designated because they're changing it to put, like Tammy Hubbard.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
adding
I
2
have
more
the-
positions on
I have the-
EMA and.
Right,
But-
and they've kind of voted on that, so I think they would vote and set the thing up just like
Okay,
you're
good.
saying. I would think, but
if the 911 advisory board chooses to, they can add another member from EMA and from EMS. commissioners voted
That's
on.
what I, that's
Cause
what
that was what they brought
that's
that
what
up
they
about.
asked.
Yes,
Okay.
they voted
That's
to
basically-
approve.
And that
it.
was from issues on communication and stuff that,
Which they should be involved, I would think, anyway, so.
Did you have anything else, Doug?
we had a EMA meeting, last week. Discussed the security equipment in the courthouse, cause that was partially from a grant.
What's going on with that? Is
It's
It's
fully
all up and running
operational,
now.
come on in, we'll scan you.
Yeah.
It's up and
Yeah,
running?
you wanna go in and get some scans done and
Alright.
see what your innards are like? And we also discussed sirens, cause there were, every once in a while there's issues with one not working, so we're working towards that and, fixing an issue with simulcast that hopefully will fix all the, sirens, going off, and improve that. They have, full-scale incidents kind of scenarios that they work out every other year. It's a tabletop exercise that then gets put into a full-scale, scenario. That's gonna be, the full-scale scenario incident's gonna be this year at, Master Brand, Ferdinand Plant 4. It's gonna be about battery scenario where a bunch of batteries just get knocked over from a, just knocked over and there's an incident there May 10th. So, setting date for planning it, it's gonna be before that, so I'll have more information kind of leading up to that probably. They also worked on a comprehensive plan. That's something that they do every so many years, so that we discussed, you know, working on that, getting that finalized, working with different emergency, departments, sheriff, health, hazmat, fire, EMS are all involved in that. Grants. Searching out grants, they do a lot with finding grants for different departments. They helped us get Darissa and Tammy helped get grants for previous 800 radios that you guys were talking about. I'm sure that came up in the meeting, how some feel that they need those, a lot more of them, so, they're searching out grants and trying to get, some grants to the tune of $150,000 that kind of help with that, so that would get, hopefully enough radios, 800 megahertz radios for the different departments, so it's something that us, the county, would not have to pay for. Also, in the past, they would mail the, agenda and different stuff like that, and then we're gonna go green, so it's just gonna be all through email. So, save kind of more money there too. It's pretty much the gist of the meeting.
Thank you. Sandy, you have anything else?
Like I said, the only thing is the annual financial report has been submitted. If anybody wants to look it over, here you go. But I did give you copies of the part that will be in the paper.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Public,
I just, the agenda item is always, that I'm interested in, always seems to be the last one.
sorry.
Kind of thing, the commissary review committee report, can you just give me kind of like, if you're allowed to or whatever, an executive summary or a reader's digest of what that's about?
Well, it's, you know, every, he brings in the money and the sheriff and the jail actually run the commissary fund. I mean, they do the service work. They buy different products for the inmates to purchase. And they kind of mark it up and then the inmates buy it and that's, that money, it's just a transfer. I didn't bring it along, but, tonight, but I mean, it's just a spreadsheet of what they buy and sell, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then if there's any expense, like, if the sheriff buys something and he turns it into the matron up there, and she handles it then. But she runs the actual budget, right?
Is the commissary fund publicized anywhere?
He gives me, it's a supplement to our annual financials, so there is a line up on the top, you'll see the commissary fund, the beginning balance and the ending balance and the receipts, and you'll see it on your sheet there. But I don't get
just that beginning
That,
and
I,
ending balance.
that's all I get is a supplemental.
But the actual document, it's about, well, it's probably a page and a half a month technically. And we get it as a council every 6 months, January to June 30th, and then July 1st to December 31st.
I might have just been confused, it might have been something else, I thought I heard there was some kind of controversy about it, that's all.
Well,
That
that's,
must have been something else.
it's a sheriff's responsibility to operate the commissary and run the balance, but it's ours.
It's our responsibility to review it, and
Yeah.
we've been going year by year and appointing a 3-person committees. You can't have any more than that to review those, and where we've needed additional explanation, like Ryan had mentioned, we've asked for additional receipts or explanation.
Statutorily, there's 9 reasons why you can spend money in the commissary, so that's what they review.
Okay.
But
It's
potentially
very-
state law may change in that because of some police lobbying groups wanna expand how they operate now. Whether that gets heard this year, I don't know, but it's been talked about recently pretty heavily.
If you're interested in seeing the 1 through 9 that Sandy's talking about, we can show you what that is.
That's all right.
It's, you know, it's made, the profit, you know, it's supposed to buy like help the inmates, you know, in different ways, like, and they can buy police cars, computers, you know, any kind of action
Training.
in the jail. You know,
Things that
any-
they might need outside of our regular budgeting that come up.
Alright,
So,
so
you know,
Mhm.
you should.
And then Wyatt's Corrections also has a commissary too.
They're set up similar.
Yeah.
okay.
But, you know, Wyatt's people, you know, are only there, you know, like, they can go out and work, you know, it's work
Mhm.
release, where the inmates are stuck there. You know,
Yeah.
they can't get, a
Right.
McDonald's hamburger unless somebody brings it in for them, you know, and buy it.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
So, yep,
Thank you for coming.
anytime, yeah, appreciate it. Otherwise, any other comments? I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Doug has made a motion, and I have a second.
I'll second that.
Meredith is seconded, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Amen.
Close the meeting.